It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen. With Chris Clark.
The 2007 South Carolina class was, at that time, 6th in the country and 4th in the SEC, which is amazing.
Wes Mitchell.
You know, I think if you're South Carolina, you're aiming to at least be at 50%. Then in theory, you're adding talent, you're getting better, you're putting yourself in a position to compete.
And Tyler Head.
It's been a great week for South Carolina. On the recruiting front, still certainly plenty to talk about.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Don't touch my V-neck sweater. 1 and 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
And welcome into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs here on 107.5 The Game. Tyler, Wes, and Chris along with you. And our special guest today, we've been talking about it all morning, Mo Kaba from the Gamecocks football team, joining us live here in studio. Mo, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We are so excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And you were telling us before we started here, this is not your first time doing radio. You're a little bit of a pro at this already, right?
Somewhat, just a little bit.
Mo, thanks for joining us, man. We have a lot to dive into. Football stuff, off-field stuff, your NIL deal here with the guys at Cato's Power Equipment who are in the studio, packed studio today, so this should be fun. Looking forward to getting into everything. But first of all, tell us how you're doing. Spring ball is starting up next week. And I was just talking to you about it a little bit before we came in and jumped on air here for the show. But you'll be basically out this spring, right, as you continue recovering from last season's knee injury. But just kind of tell us how that process has been and what you'll be doing this spring to get yourself ready.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling way better than the first time I had my surgery. It's a good thing when you go through something for the first time before. Luckily, it sounds bad, but luckily it happened to me already. But like I said, I'm feeling way better. I'm feeling way healthier. It's a slow process with the ACL. You know, you can never rush something like this. But yeah, I'm having a great time with my training staff. You know, just day by day making strides, seeing the progress I'm making and everything. So yeah, I'm doing way better.
Mo, so obviously fans hear people talk about going through the rehab process and kind of working your way back. If you can, maybe give them an idea. What does that actually look like? What does the process, you know, when the other guys are doing their normal lifts and stuff like that, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to sort of strengthen it back up? And I know technology is like crazy these days as far as the progress that they've made over the last probably 10 or 12 years on rehabbing a knee injury. So what does kind of your day-to-day look like as far as that process goes, man?
So when we came back for winter workouts, I was pretty much like, I think 2 or 3 months in. So that gave me enough time to actually do the same workouts as everybody and everything. I have a great weight room staff. I'm working with Chip Morton right now. He has a lot of experience with injuries and stuff like that. So while, for example, when we're on lower body days like squat days and stuff like that, I will go to the side and pick a rack with him, and him and me will work one-on-one, just doing certain workouts, getting me back that range of motion, that power and everything. And it just got to take it slow day by day. So we started off like with little weight, you know, and I finally got up to 225. Then I got up to like 235. I'll do it like just little by little with him and just see the progress I'm going, like making day by day.
So do you have any real limitations? I know obviously they're going to be careful with you as far as actual football during the spring, like Chris said, but as far as just what you can do on it, what lifts you can do, do you have any major limitations right now? Or for the most part, it's just kind of taking it slow? Yeah,
I do have some limitations. So what I see like when I'm working out pretty much is like I'll work out real hard, for example, for a whole week. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it might be some pain in my knee and I might have to take a step back. But that just means that my knee's getting better. So I take that step back and just do everything like lower, for example, like in weight, and then go right back into what I used to do like before I was hurting. You feel me? So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, what's your next progressions as far as you're telling me that you're not running yet?
Yeah.
So you're doing some treadmill work.
Yeah.
Are you doing the cool underwater walking thing that I've always wanted to do? I don't want to hurt my knee, but I would like to do the underwater walking thing.
I'll be going to that next probably, but I'm in like an anti-gravity type treadmill. So it's like it takes a certain percentage of your body weight off the ground. And right now I'm at like 65% of body weight on the ground. So it's pretty good right now.
And then when will you get to jog and run on, I guess, real ground is how you could say it?
I would say when pushing more towards mid 5 months, 6 months out of surgery.
Okay.
And right now I'm at 4.5.
So not too
far. It's right around the corner.
Now, I know you don't mind kind of like going back, because you were talking about it out there, like when it happened in the Arkansas game. You've obviously same knee as high school.
Yeah.
Right? So were there any, I don't know, differences in process or differences in experience that you've seen so far? I mean, in college, you've had a lot more resources to continue rehabbing it and everything.
Man, when I first tore it in high school, you got to understand, I was only getting rehab 2 times a week. Mm-hmm. So it was a real slow process in high school coming into college. But here, I realized I have, rehab every day. There's no breaks. And if you really want to get back right, you want that. You want that type of attention on your, injury and stuff like that. So I have I've been going through, a great rehab process, compared to the first time. And I feel real great compared to the first time. No issues like I had the first time. And, yeah, everything's going great.
Well, you have alien technology with anti-gravity machines and all types of crazy stuff. What is that like, just being in that ops field, man? I mean, we've toured it, but I can't really imagine what it's like to be there on a day-to-day when you have, the nutrition aspect that's available to you guys, and then all the machines. You've got. I still want to take a nap in that. What is it? Sensory deprivation tank thing. Have you been in that thing?
You talking about the salt water?
Yeah, that you float.
So let me tell you something, man. All right, it sounds good. It sounds real good, and when you don't have cuts on you, it's perfect.
No.
But I went there after practice one time and took a shower and everything, but I didn't realize I was scarred up. And as soon as I touched it, man, I was like, nah, we're getting out of here. Nah, I can't do that.
Do you have somebody, you're not trapped in there? So
no. You could push it up.
I was watching Interstellar last night, so I was thinking all the anti-gravity stuff. And so, they had those where they go down for a nap for 2 years and they're in the water. It's not like that. You can knock on the window and get somebody to get you out.
You fill it up a little bit more. You can heat the water up to where you want it to be, just so you're comfortable. There might be a little music in the background, some meditation music, got some stars on the ceiling. So if you want it dark, you could turn it dark, It's a good little spot just to chill, but I don't recommend it if you have any small cuts on you.
Do y'all play the dramatic Interstellar music as you as you lay down in there? I feel like that would be pretty cool. But what is your favorite part of the ops building? Just y'all got so much kind of at your disposal there. What are you getting the most out of?
To be honest, it feels like home. So I just like experiencing the people inside of there. Coming to the locker room every day, talking to my boys. They're really one of the ones that kept my head up. When I was hurt, I always wanted to come to the locker room after they were done practicing, just to talk to them. Just to see what's going on. And they always just keep your head up, Mo. We're gonna take it on from here. You feel me? We got you. And I love just being around my boys all the time,
Do you and Jordan Strong talk a good? I mean, y'all went through this in the same game last year.
Yeah, we talked, but we never got as close as what we did after that injury, because after I went down, I went to the locker room, and as soon as I came back out, literally, Jordan was hopping to the sideline.
Oh, man.
And I knew, just off of his reaction, exactly what it was, and knowing that he was a ACL guy too before. So we went to the locker room and I had to just talk to him a little bit, because he was real down. You gotta understand, he's a real he's a 2-year left guy. He has 1 more year left, I think, and he was hoping that he still had that 1 year left. And I was just trying to keep him calm. We got this, man. We're gonna go through this. But luckily, he has another year, and we just been going through this rehab process together. We're gonna be running together. We literally got hurt the same day together. You feel me? So him and me real close right now.
and I don't want to keep harping on the injury mode. So let's go, I guess, a little bit positive, but also kind of bittersweet, I'm sure. Did you sense going into last year, like I know we were watching, we were listening to how Coach White was talking about the linebackers, and there was kind of that little, there was a competition who was going to start, and it seemed like you were going into your breakout year. Did you sort of sense this is my year? Going into it, and then
I never felt better going to the season since high school. I felt like I was literally playing high school ball at a certain moment because the game was just slowing down to me. I was understanding all of our terminology, our plays, and everything. And my leg, my body just felt great. I didn't have no worry about my knee anymore. I was playing freely. I was just having fun. So I was just knowing that year was going to be my year. But God had other plans, and I just had to accept it for what it was. Can't be too sad on this type of injury. I realized from my first time I got too depressed, and it didn't help me any. I had to force myself to get out that dark space. For the first week, you had to let that emotion out. You feel me? I was sad. I was crying a little bit, because I was just why, I did everything. I felt like I did everything right, and it was just taken from me out of nowhere, So, but once I got out that mode and it was time to grind, I just knew I had to lock in and just keep my head forward and just keep working.
You were named in last year, before the season, Special Teams Player of the Spring, Jim Carlin Special Teams Player of the Spring, and then the Most Improved Player of the Spring on defense. So, while you've been sitting out, you're going to be full go sometime in the summer, and then certainly for preseason camp, right? Yeah. As long as everything keeps progressing. So what do you do during this time? Obviously rehabbing, but how are you getting, kind of overplayed term, but the mental reps, to keep yourself engaged?
When the spring practice comes, I have a plan to just watch all the practices and everything. Just come back inside the building, watch old games, watch the practices, look at the plays. We already have spring installs sent to us, so I'm already studying that right now. And, I can't be on the field right now, so I just have to act like I'm on the field through the screen, pretty much.
Super excited to have Mo Kaba in the studio with us here for the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Going to run into a quick timeout, come back on the other side, continue our conversation. I want to let you know tonight, the Gamecock men's basketball team in action at the SEC tournament taking on Ole Miss. Tip-off at 7, pregame coverage starting at 6:30. Heath Klein will actually be out in Nashville doing his show from 3 to 6, so you don't want to miss that. We'll be right back on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen with Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
And we're back on 107.5 The Game with the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler, Wes, and Chris with our special guest today, Gamecocks linebacker Mo Kaba. And Mo, I want to go back to something that you were talking about in the last segment with your injury last season and the support that you had from your teammates that really helped you get through it. We've heard from so many guys in this 2023 recruiting class coming in, when they're interviewed about why they chose South Carolina, they talk about it feeling like home and that family atmosphere. From your perspective, can you attest to that, how much of a family environment and a brotherhood South Carolina football really is?
Oh, yeah, it's all truth when they talk about stuff like that, because everybody's genuine, inside the building. There's no fake love. From the coaches down to GAs, down to just janitors, nobody walks past you without saying anything. I feel like everybody knows everybody's name. You're trying to know everybody's name because there's so many new people, new faces coming in this year. But it's no lost love every day you come in the building. You're happy to come into the building every day just to interact with people, and it just feels like a family atmosphere every time you step in the building. It's hard to explain. It's just since Beamer stepped in South Carolina, you feel me? He's tried to implement love into the program, because why would you want to do something if you're not loving what you're doing, you feel me? You're not going to have fun doing something if you're not loving what you're doing and the people you're doing it with.
And Beamer certainly feels like a player's coach. Every player that we hear from says, man, I love Beamer. He's our guy. Like, what does he do specifically that makes him so relatable to y'all to where you have this great relationship with him?
He shows that he cares so much, you know, and it's tough love. You feel me? The rules applies to everyone, you feel me? But at the same time, he's fair. He's hard and he's caring at the same time, you know. So that's why everybody in the building really loves him. Pretty much, it's not much that you can hate about Beamer, you know. He's just a likable guy, you feel me? So
right,
that's pretty much it.
While we're talking coaches, what was it like being in Coach Clayton White's room? Obviously, defense coordinator, but also, you know, your position coach as well. You know, he just seems very down to earth, especially compared to a lot of coaches. Kind of funny guy, like kind of low key funny guy. I feel like. What is it like to be around Coach White all the time, man?
I don't want to boost his head up, man, but I feel like, man, I struck gold like with him as a coach. You know, just to have a coach like that as my linebacker coach. Not only my linebacker coach, as my DC. You know, he's a real understanding dude. He's easy to talk to. You know. If I want to explain something to him, he knows how to like really break it down to you, and he knows how to talk to all types of people like that comes from all around the world, pretty much. You know, like he just has that charisma about him, and he's another great dude as a coach. You feel me?
Now you're in Clayton's room as a position player, and with him being, you know, the boss of the defense, DC, but. You also, last year, were playing a significant role in special teams, too. I know.
Yeah.
Mentioned it in the previous segment, special teams player of the spring. So you had a chance to work with Stanton Weber, who's now moved on, and then Pete Limbo, too. So same question for Pete Limbo. I see you already laughing. He's a very unique guy. Tell us what it's like to be in Pete Limbo's room.
So I'm going to give y'all a little story before
Please.
I come to this year. So I'm not going to lie. Me and Limbo come from two different parts of the world. So, like, we both, like, love, like, competition and winning, but we just didn't see eye to eye when I first came here. So it was like we butted heads so much. And it was just, like, I never understood, like, how I was going to get to, like, understand him until, like, I remember doing something in practice that he said, and like some way, somehow, it just clicked to me that I started understanding his lingo, and then we got closer and closer, like throughout the season, and then I was just like, I started to understand, like, he's kind of a cool dude, you know, like he's a good dude to be around, you feel me? And he has a great scheme, like that's the main thing that got my interest, like. He has a great scheme that, like, is hard to stop if you're following his scheme. You feel me? And that's just the reason why he's just so, like, wow, because he's like, he knows himself. Like, if you do this right, if you do this the way I'm saying, we're gonna be good. You feel me? And the stats don't lie. You feel me? Number one in everything. You feel me? And you see the impact of the special teams in the games, and you can't take it away from him.
Does he have a movie reference in every single meeting or just every other?
Every single meeting. It might be war. It might be, I'm not going to lie, it feels like you're in class when you with him. Like, he's like that corny little teacher, you know, that's cool at the same time. Yeah, it's funny. It's fun. It's real funny in the meeting sometimes because you'll be real sleepy and he just say something like off the wall. Everybody just looks at each other like, what he just say? Like, but. Yeah, he's always gonna say something that just grabs your attention.
What is it like on the sideline when special teams makes a big play? Because every coach I've ever heard talk, does special teams is a third of the game. Like, we're going to emphasize special teams. It's not like that everywhere.
No, it's
by
not.
any means. But I think with Limbo and Beamer, like we see the results but there is nothing like that sideline, I feel like, when y'all block a punt or y'all return a kickoff or touchdown. What can you put into words that just, I guess, boost y'all seem to get from a big special teams play?
Oh, man, everybody just gets so hyped on the sideline because you just imagine you sitting down and then you just hear, and you're like, what just happened? And you just see your boys running the ball back to the touchdown. But one thing about Limbo, I never seen him celebrate. Like, from a big time play, he's just ready to get to the next special team. Like, kick off, come come on, kick off, stop. Where's everybody at? Kick off, come on. Like, Limbo, just give it, like, we got a media break. Like, just celebrate from once, you feel me? But yeah, that's another reason I love working with Limbo, because he's not going to celebrate until it's 0-0 on the clock, you know? Like, and I respect that.
He did say, so Pete Limbo was on with the guys on the halftime show with Jay and Terry, and he did say, Mo, hey, I'm going to try to do a better job of celebrating some success a little bit. So maybe this season, maybe you can do it.
Oh, I'm gonna try to lift them up for something.
Full circle.
Hey, something.
Yeah, maybe you can make a big play since y'all got off to a rougher start.
Oh yeah,
maybe you can be the one to help him start celebrating more. Full circle.
It may not be in his DNA though to celebrate too hard.
Force it.
I feel like he's just so locked in on the next thing. I mean, how you got Tonka Hemingway scoring a 2-point conversion? How can you not enjoy that for like 5 seconds?
He probably his form of celebration might be like a fist pump in the air. That's probably all he's going to do.
He did the raised. It wasn't even fist pump. He just raised the arm when one of Kai's 15 punts that he downed within the 2-yard line in the Clemson game. He did raise the arm on that one. Then you got Beamer over there doing like.
Oh, Beamer! He's gonna celebrate. That's one thing for sure. And the first time I seen it, you just see the passion coming out of him. You know, he reminds me of me when I'm playing the game on Madden. You feel me? Like he's like, okay, that worked. Let's go. Like he's just so turned, you know, and I love it.
Now, Beamer's celebration, is he a locker room dancing guy? Does he ever do any of that?
So I know it was one video that went viral when he was doing some weird dance. You feel me? But we got him to like. We were pumping him up pretty much. Everybody was dancing in the locker room, you know, and then I remember I was tapping Beamer. I was like, come on, Beamer, it's your turn. And then he just busted out that move, and I was like, hey, I don't know what that is, but hey, we're turning. We won the game.
Maybe y'all can give him like a step-by-step on how to like gritty or something like that.
Something. We gotta teach him something.
You know, old Frank Beamer, his dad, he danced.
I think that's where he got that dance move from. That's probably what it was. But that was similar.
Ask him next time if he learned that from Frank.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen the video of Frank Beamer doing the dab?
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I suggest looking it up. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to bust the dab back out there. I feel like
I think that's
we got to move on. We got to move on from that. But the locker room celebration in any of these big wins y'all have had honestly looks like the most fun that I've ever seen any group of people having ever. Well, what is that like, man? Just after the culmination of a lot of work, and then you get to celebrate it, and the whole, you know, hey, we got to work tomorrow, but we're going to enjoy this thing for 24 hours.
Oh yeah, it's just like you said, man. We just all that work being put towards the game. You gotta enjoy your win while it lasted that night. You feel me? But after that night, it's next team. You feel me? Like you can't just focus too hard on that win. We're going to celebrate hard in the locker room and probably that night, but after that, it's next team.
Going to keep our conversation going with Mo Kaba here on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs. We'll let you know about the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic coming up on Friday, March the 24th at the Charwood Golf Club in West Columbia. Give Charwood a call at 803-755-2000 to register. It is $100 a person and $400 per team. Going to have some autographed items from some Gamecock athletes, and one person will be lucky enough to win season tickets to all remaining USC baseball games. Lunch will also be provided by Firehouse Subs. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Classic. We'll be right back.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour with Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
And back in on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler, Wes, and Chris with special guest today, Mo Kaba, in studio with us. And these conversations always end up going to the topic of food. Speaking of food, it is Wednesday, and I've been doing the show with you guys long enough. Is today's sub of the day the New York Steamer?
You're absolutely right.
I got it right, yes.
You nailed it. Yeah, you've got it memorized. No notes. I can see, Tyler. No notes. New York Steamer at any of the 14 Midlands Firehouse Subs locations. You can go get it. That's $5.99 for a small, $7.99 for a medium. Visit firehousesubs.com and use their rapid rescue to order online. You can go pick it up. It'll be just sitting there waiting for you. Or you can download the Firehouse Subs app. Make sure you join the rewards program. There's a different Firehouse Subs sub of the day for each day of the week. So, continuing our conversation here with Mo Kaba. By the way, Mo, we do need to get some off-the-field takes from you. It's a good time for it. So let's go to food. Wes and I will not let you escape without talking about food. What's the go-to? What's your faves?
My favorite food right now in Columbia would be Peebles. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
Some wings?
Some wings.
The Philly cheesesteak is what got me. But the wings, too, like, so crispy, so fresh. Like, that's the best wings and Philly cheesesteak I had in a minute, pretty much.
So just generalized food, like, is wings, like, top for you?
Oh, yeah. Definitely on my cheat meals, yeah, definitely.
So that's, like, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo wings?
Barbecue.
Barbecue wings?
Yeah.
Okay. Ranch, blue cheese?
Oh, yeah, ranch.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. My kind of guy.
You barbecue wings?
Yeah, I like a little bit of sweet from time to time. I typically go with buffalo, but change it up, get a little bit of sweetness.
Too.
There you go.
Chili, yeah.
Now we're talking. I think me and Mo are going to be like best friends.
I don't doubt it. Do you do any cooking up at home or in the facility?
So when I want to put on a couple pounds, this is my main. This is my main meal that I always made, like, since high school, because I was always this real skinny guy when I was coming out of high school. At first I started with spaghetti, then I turned to baked spaghetti, you know. So I'll make my own little twang to it, you know. Put a little extra cheese inside the spaghetti and on top of the spaghetti.
Yes.
350 in the oven.
See, that
for like
got
5
my heart
minutes.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Extra cheese is always a winner for me.
Definitely.
I'm just sitting here thinking about the spaghetti. And I'm wondering why Mo didn't bring us any for lunch.
You can't go wrong with spaghetti, though.
Spaghetti is an all-timer.
If you mess up spaghetti, man, you're a bad person. Like,
Yeah.
for real.
All right, we've been asking every athlete this. This is so are you a burger person?
Yeah.
You like burgers? All right. Chips on a burger.
No, I can't do it because
Hard,
I like tomatoes and all the condiments on a burger, so it's gonna make the chips soggy, and I can't do that.
Okay, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that.
Well, what if you put it like under the patty, like on the bottom?
It's still going to get soggy.
Yeah, you know, if you have a fresh
greasy
burger, fresh
I guess
burger
so.
Should be juicy. So.
If it's greasy and juicy enough, that would probably
Now a regular
soak into
turkey
it.
sandwich or something, I load it up with some Lay's chips or something.
There you
some
go.
Doritos, you feel me?
Okay, so you're not against the chips on a sandwich.
not on a burger.
It just can't be. I don't want my chips soggy. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I respect that. So how, out of every meal you have, what percentage are like, all right, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating good, and what percentage is like, all right, I'm eating whatever I want?
Okay, so look.
Be honest. It's just us.
Nobody's listening to the football team at all. Nobody.
So I really do sometimes catch myself struggling just to stay eating healthy, you feel me? Because I burn the calories off so fast. you know? And I'm like, I want to enjoy all this food before I can't enjoy it no more, you feel me? So during the week, sometimes I might eat a little healthy, like Monday through Wednesday. And then
sometimes
Monday through Wednesday, but then the rest of the week, man, I'm gonna enjoy myself. You only live once, you know.
So during football season, when you're obviously playing games and practicing the most out of the entire year, like what is your calorie intake given on how much you're burning in the fall?
Oh man, I couldn't even give you a number. I'm just fueling up. If I feel the slightest bit hungry, I'm going to eat something, you know. Probably like 2 PB&Js. Like if I'm going to class and I know I can't eat a full meal, I'm gonna take 2 PB&Js with me, yogurt or something like that, and just eat in the mid class, and just keep it going throughout the day.
Same.
You know, Trey Knox told us that when he was at Arkansas, you know, he was 205 as a freshman, and then he moved to tight end and had to put on, as much weight as possible.
Pounds.
He said he can't even look at it Uncrustable anymore. You just can't do it.
I used to make sandwiches it was not even PB&Js, I call it choke sandwiches.
Choke?
Yeah, so you just load the sandwich up with peanut butter, you know, probably 3 inches thick, you know, just a little bit jelly, just so you can swallow the whole sandwich, you know.
Was it called choke because you gets caught in your throat?
It gets caught in your throat, you know. You had to drink some milk with it or something, and that's what I used to do.
That's an elementary school cafeteria PB&J right there. Like I remember when I was at like 7 years old, the PB&Js in there were just like there's like an inch of peanut butter, then this one little layer.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I need that milk carton.
A little bit more.
Oh yeah.
So, did you play any other sports coming up? Or do you like to dabble now a little bit?
I played soccer, I played basketball, but once I realized what sport I really loved, that's when I just stayed with football. Like I didn't start playing football until 7th grade, And it was Parks and Rec when I played 7th grade, just because I wanted just to try it out. I was always getting fouled out in the basketball, and I was just like everybody I just feel like everybody saw. So my coach was like, "Hey, come try out for us, or come sign up for Parks and Rec." And my first hit was like, I remember my brothers and everybody just coming off the sideline running, like, "Oh my God!" Like it felt so good. So I just wanted to stick with it and continue to get better at it.
Did you know you were good right off the bat? You're like, "Oh, I'm good at this," or people told you like, "Hey, you're pretty good at this"?
I used to tell myself, yeah, I am pretty good, because I used to, like, since I was in kindergarten, and I got like 3 older brothers, like real, like one's 28, one's 26, and one like 23. We used to play football like since I was in kindergarten, and I used to be the littlest person out there, but I used to always like still go head up with people and try to, like, I'll take the tackles. I really was just enjoying playing with my brothers, because usually they try to keep me out of stuff, but they really wanted me to play with them when it comes to that. So I always was going against bigger people, and I was doing good. So I realized, like, hey, I kind of like this sport. You feel me? I feel like I'm pretty good at this.
So soccer. Where did you learn to play?
I went to Africa for when I was in 3rd grade. I went to Africa for like 8 months, and I played, like, soccer down there is like basketball in New York. Like,
everybody plays.
Oh, I'm talking about it. Like, if they don't have a goal, they're going to set up like two little posts right there in the middle of the road and be like, "All right, let's go." You feel me? So I had fun. I had fun playing down there, but when I got back up here, I didn't want to do all the running, so I just played goalie. So yeah, I just had a fun time just sitting there waiting for the action to come to me, and yeah, that's pretty much how soccer came about.
Now, a lot of your teammates still consider themselves hoopers. Basketball.
Oh yeah.
Do you, or have you let go of it? Or are you like?
I'm not gonna say I'm a hooper. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I'm a hooper. But if I could get a little hot streak going on, like I'm a real good catch and shoot type of guy. Good defensive guy, no question. Like I feel like I can lock down anybody.
Chris, are you going to ask him the question?
I am.
Do you want to save this for the other side?
Let's do it.
All right.
We're think about it.
Yeah, we're going to give you the break to think about this question we ask all of our guests, specifically from the football team. We'll come back on the other side and wrap up today's edition of the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen, with Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head, on your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Back in on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs. Wrapping up today's conversation with Mo Kaba, linebacker for the Gamecocks football team. And as I'm sure Chris and Wes advised you during the commercial break there, we're going to ask you the most important question that we ask our football guest on this show. We asked it to Spencer, Nate Atkins. I think you even got it into Luke Doty last week when you talked to him. If you are putting together a team of 5 to play some hoops, only from the football team, who is your starting 5?
All right, so I just seen some film of Spencer Rattler. I didn't know he had a lick of ball sense in him. I'm not gonna lie, but
did we affect the outcome?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. I see his little high school highlights. So I'm gonna have to make him my point guard, just because he has that quarterback knowledge, that passer mentality and scorer mentality, just a little bit from what I see. Shooting guard, I'm biased, so I'm going to go with me because I'm a crazy catch and shoot guy. You catch me in the corner, I'm going to hit that 3. But one thing I'm going to say is we have the most athletic big man on the team, and the best player on the team personally to me is Tonka Hemingway. He's like ridiculous on the court. Like, for his size, he moves like he's 115 pounds. Like, it's weird. And he's slow. He's like a Luka Doncic on there. Like, he's crazy. So I have him at small forward. T.J. Sanders, another defensive tackle. He's crazy good at basketball, And one thing people don't really know about him, if you don't know about him, like, he only weighed like 225 or less than that when he was like before COVID. And he told me, like, he said after COVID, like, he put on like so much weight, and he was just like, he ended up turning into like a D lineman size. You feel me? So I have him at like small forward. Power forward. And for my center, I'm gonna have to have somebody big, tall, but athletic, because it's a new generation. And I'm gonna put Rashawn Lee over there. Our offensive lineman. Him and Tonka Hemingway is like running head to head for the best players that I've seen on the basketball court, like on the football team, because it's just for them to be that big and that athletic on the court, the way they move, like it's crazy. Like y'all have to see it for yourself one day.
That might be the most unique team we've heard put together so far.
I don't know. Boogie Huntley had 5 defensive linemen.
Yeah, he did.
Making up his team.
He had Nick Barrett on his team. Good luck getting around him.
Oh man, yeah.
Nah.
All right, so Tonka, I actually, when you said we would be surprised at the best hooper on the team, I thought you might go TJ Sanders because I saw some of his high school.
TJ's nice.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's between them three. I'm not gonna lie. For the best hoopers, like all around, like it's between them three. But if I'm going to be biased, I have to go with Tonka because he does some stuff that I haven't seen in a minute on the court, And I got a couple videos of him too, like just surprising me because I'm just on the court just recording just to get something on the video, and then he just does some off the wall stuff. And you just like, whoa, like he has that in the bag, like yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, Tonka apparently in high school stand out football, basketball, and baseball. Like apparently Tonka hit some moon shots back in the day in baseball. That's what they say in Conway.
Okay.
So
I believe it.
I'm not surprised that Tonka, I think, is one of those guys who's just kind of good at everything.
Yeah, he's just an athlete.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say, so you kept the streak going, Mo. I don't think we've asked any football player that question that did not put himself on the team also. Was there one?
There's one.
Okay, who was that?
Luke Doty.
Luke Doty left himself up. He's like, I don't have it.
Luke
I
said,
can't do it.
no, Luke, and the funny thing is, Luke's dad played college basketball.
Right. Yeah.
And Luke said, nah, basketball, not my thing.
Thinking about it, I'd never seen Luke, like, when we all talk about, like, because we got a group chat, we always talk about, like, when we going down and stuff like that. He never responded when we said something about going to a basketball court or something.
That's on purpose.
I just realized that.
You can just coach or be the sixth guy off the bench.
Yeah. Be the hype
definitely.
man.
And Luke, a great athlete, but he said basketball just not. He's like, I did not get whatever that skill is that comes to basketball. He says I did not get it.
We might have a couple more funny different sport questions for you, Mo. But first, I want to make sure we get this in. You're here on behalf today of guys at Cato's Power Equipment who are in here with us in studio. Glad to have them. But so I want to talk a little bit about kind of the business end of things as a football player. NIL is something that went live for college athletes, amateur athletes in 2021, the summer, I guess. So this is a really cool story to me. So correct my timeline and my facts if I'm off here, but I want to get a little bit more on how this came about. Specifically, you working with the guys at Cato's. So you were in your spare time, which you don't have much of it as a college athlete. You decided you were going to cut some yards on Twitter, and you threw that out. Tell us about how all this happened.
Man, I went back home for spring break one time, and I was just sitting around, just like I noticed like I had like the same thing going on every day, just work out, come back, find something to eat, and I realized like I have nothing in my pockets right now. Like let me go out here and cut some grass for some money or something real quick. So I cut my uncle's grass first. He paid me. I went to the next door neighbors, and it just turned to like a market type salesman type dude. Like, hey, you need your grass cut? How much they charge you to cut your grass? I'll cut your front of your backyard just for $20. I got you. Like I was like, this is a workout too, so I'm getting something out of it too. So I just went down the road and I was like, let me see if I could get something going with this. You feel me? So I posted it. I didn't expect it to get as much traction as it did, but I had my phone off. No, I was listening to music and had my silence on, and I turned my phone back on and I seen like it was like 2,000 likes and like so many replies. I was like, oh wow. So yeah, I got in touch with the right people, and the right people put me on the right deals, and met Cato's company and Ben and Matt, and got to work with some great people.
Yes, you've been able to do some production. Saw you on their website, which was really awesome, catospowerequipment.com. Mo with Mo learn more. And click on it. That's pretty awesome.
If I click that, I can actually mow with Mo?
He will show up at your house.
Are you still cutting grass, or that's kind of we're beyond that now?
I'm not beyond it now, but like I haven't. When I go home, that's the little thing I'm gonna like do. You know, if money's not right, you know, I might go to a couple yards and just get a couple of dollars in my pocket. You know, just to stay afloat.
Well, I can tell you this: you're expanding your business right now. We got people on the text line asking you to mow their yards because
the price is going up, guys.
Nameless texter says, "I'll pay you $20 because my son charges me $40." So.
No, I'm going to go ahead and speak for Mo here. The price is going up as of today. It's not $20. But also, you all can follow Cato's, I think, on Twitter at Cato's Power, on Instagram, Cato's Power Equipment. You can hit them on Facebook as well, like Chris said, catospowerequipment.com. You can call them, 803-254-3711. But, Mo, I'm looking at your picture here. These are some nice mowers, man. Like, that is a high-powered mower right there. Like, that'd be fun doing these photo shoots.
It'd be fun to mow some lawn in those. Like, you know, feel like you're sitting in a lawn chair or something, just cruising.
Now, are you a push mower guy or a riding mower guy?
If I had the money for a push mower, I'd get a push mower and go crazy, you know. But I feel like I said push mower. I meant to say riding lawnmower.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that and ride all day. But I feel like a push mower, you know, it just takes you back. You feel me? It's like nostalgia.
It's a good workout.
You feel me?
Right.
It make you think about yourself as a kid again. You know? Like that's just my thought about it.
Did you drive by and look at your billboard? Be honest. We talked about this before.
I haven't, like, to be honest with you, I haven't seen it in person yet. But I have multiple people, like Coach White, like, we was in the meeting room one time. He's just like, you know you on the billboard? I was like, and then, like later on throughout the day, he'll send me a picture of it, like, something like that. It's just funny, you know, when they talking to me about it and stuff like that.
You can follow also Mo Kaba on Twitter. That is MO_KABA3. Put some good content there on Twitter from time to time. You need to drop your store link, by the way, back on Twitter. Maybe put it in your bio, tweet it out for the people. Go follow Mo Kaba on Twitter.
Unfortunately, Mo, we are out of time. This hour certainly flew by, but we certainly thank you for hanging out with us today.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
So certainly best of luck to you and the rest of the team this upcoming fall, and we'll have this episode of the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour up a little bit shortly if you missed any of the conversation today on 1075thegame.com/podcast. Coming up next is the halftime show with Jay and Terry right here on 1075 The Game.